Ag AM in Kansas is brought to you in part by Sure Crop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
Hi, my name is Bob Weber, cow-calf extension specialist, and recently participated in our Winter Ranch Management series of meetings for beef producers here in Kansas. One of my favorite aspects of these programs is at the end we offer basically a Stump the Specialist segment where it's a Q&A from the floor to our extension specialist team, and we always get some interesting questions during that time period, and it provides a nice opportunity for interaction with our beef producers here in Kansas. A couple of questions came up at a recent meeting that I'd like to share with you. One of those was about the effectiveness of AI, or artificial insemination and synchronization programs, as a tool for breeding replacement heifers for their first calf. And that's certainly a strategy that we encourage producers to implement and think about in their programs because it has a number of advantages. One of those is that you can be very precise then in your AI mating decisions about which bulls you choose to help minimize dystocia events in those heifers' first calving experience. And we know that those heifers that go through and calve as first calf heifers without any difficulty have shorter postpartum intervals and a higher likelihood of rebreeding as 2-year-olds. So synchronization programs range from simple ones from either a 2-shot prostaglandin injection with heat detection or feeding MGA to heifers to induce synchronization in terms of estrus behavior. Very effective programs. More sophisticated ones include the use of a controlled internal drug release device, or what we call a CEDAR, to synchronize those females' estrus behavior. And then you can either use estrus observation or breeding on heats with those females, or fixed time AI. And those all offer a range of capabilities and utility based on expected conception rates, which are typically range somewhere from 50 to 70% depending on which protocol you use. But they allow you to be very precise in sire selection and producing females that all calve in a relatively short period of time. One of the things we know in heifers is that producers like to observe those females during calving season, and so providing a tight synchrony in terms of breeding also provides relatively tight synchrony in terms of calving, and so you can reduce labor in the springtime when you're calving those cows by having them calve in a relatively short period of time. Another question that was posed to us regarding selection was how to use a variety of EPDs from different breeds. And one of the tools that's available is a table called the Crossbreed EPD Adjustment Table. And that's produced each year and released in conjunction with the Beef Improvement Federation annual meeting. The data is compiled and processed and analyzed by scientists at the U.S. Meat Animal Research Center in Clay Center, Nebraska. And that table basically lets you convert EPDs for animals of one breed to another breed. Typically the base is Angus. We frequently move animals from one breed to the Angus base. But in many situations where producers are thinking about crossbreeding systems, they want to be able to convert breeds or animals of one breed to a breed besides Angus. And so I've produced a crossbreed EPD adjustment worksheet that's available in the breeding and genetics section on ksubeef.org and allows you to move EPDs from one base to any other base conveniently. So we'd encourage producers, if they're interested in that tool, to find it again at the breeding and genetics section at ksubeef.org. Another thing that's happened over the last few months is a number of breeds have gone together and report their EPDs on a common base. And those breeds include Simmental, Red Angus, Gelbvieh, Limousin, Shorthorn, Maine Anjou, and Chianina, as well as Canadian equivalents of Angus, Gelbvieh, and Limousin. And you can use the EPDs on animals from those breeds and compare them against other animals within that population without adjustment. So be aware if you're in the bull buying market this spring and considering bulls, maybe a Simmental bull and a Gelbvieh bull, you don't have to do anything to convert the EPDs to different bases in that decision point.